Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another FlightFactor Sim live stream. It's the 6th of June 2025, 34 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. Back in X-Plane 12 in the FlightFactor 767-300ER. We've never actually flown this variant before. I've got the 400, but I realised FlightFactor had done some significant updates to this aircraft, so I actually purchased it a couple of days ago. The plan was to stream it yesterday, but it's been very busy with baby on standby. I'm still on standby today, so if I have to abruptly end the stream, it's because I've been called into work, but we should be okay. We're here in Central America, in Guatemala International, in the country of Guatemala, flying to San Jose in Costa Rica. Never been there before, virtually. Flying to around 1 hour 15 minutes. Live time, live weather. I did have Ortho 4XP downloaded, but unfortunately the textures were so poor and everything was completely flat. I actually got rid of the tile for both airports, so we've got all this lovely 3D but generic scenery for our departure. But it looks very nice with all the mountains in the background. Of course, we're flying Alpaca Airways today as well. And if all goes to plan, I don't get called off standby today. I hope to be streaming again to do one of my second long-haul overnight flights where I actually go to sleep but leave the sim running. Go from San Francisco to London Heathrow in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 and the PMGT 777. So that's the plan for today. Anyway, let's zoom on into our 767-300ER. Hope you're doing all well, guys. Crazy sarcasm. Do you get called in from standby often? I don't recall seeing an aborted stream. I don't think I've ever had a stream called off standby. I've had to cancel the stream halfway for other reasons, but no, it's quite quiet at the moment. You never know if there's widespread disruption, more likely to get called, but at the moment we're all okay. I'm keeping a close eye on my phone. Hope you're doing well. The Vince, good afternoon from home of Diamond Aircraft. Good day to you. Sim Bear, hope you're doing well. Donald Mosina, Power Play, hi all. Doing well as well. We've got BB69, good afternoon. Carter Boys, lots of new names I've never seen before. Liam Barrett, Crazy Sarcasm, said hello to as well. Christian Neckers, good day to you. Edo, I can see here is in chat too. Rosie M, here we go. Hope you're doing very well, madam. Thanks for popping in. Endplane paired up the 7.6 with FT Sim sounds. It's so amazing. I used to hate the 7.6 in X-Plane. Yes, I have got the FT Sim sound pack. I've been subscribed to the Patreon for some time, and I realised I actually hadn't used the sound packs for a while, so I got this one. I've taken a bit of a risk because on my test sector I used the CF6s, but I've switched to the Rolls-Royce, the RB211s. I'm hoping there's no issues with the sound, so I'm not tested with this aircraft as well. But here it is, the 767. We've hardly flown this aircraft on the channel. Once before, as I mentioned, the 400 we streamed, but yes, we've got this in Alpaca Airways colours. The jet bridge is all attached, ready to commence boarding. New skies up and running in the background as well. Punk839, greetings, Captain. I hope you're doing well. Matthew, first rule of reserve: don't talk about reserve. As soon as you do scheduling calls there, we'll mention it no more times. Fingers crossed. It's a Friday here as well, so I don't know, maybe some of my colleagues might call in sick and have the weekend off and allow me to fly. I don't know. Anyway, I just want to try one thing. I can actually request ground services here in X-Plane. Let's see if that brings anyone along. But yeah, the aircraft's completely cold and dark. I just realised the reg on this is dirty. Brilliant. But there we are. Are we using X-Plane Beta? Yeah, this is X-Plane Beta 12.7 and the latest beta version of the FlightFactor 767. What could possibly go wrong in today's live stream? Who knows? Anyway, let's zoom on in towards the cockpit. Oh yes, what a smooth transition. But you can already see, look at the texture improvements. It sort of brings it up to speed with their 777. But yeah, look, you see X-Plane's still doing its weird lighting thing. It always changes at short notice. There went from bright to sort of dim, but hopefully it'll continue refining and updating this aircraft. Now, don't forget the 7.6 has a sort of common rating with the 757, which I have flown on multiple times, but there are a number of differences on the overhead panel. I don't find this aircraft, so configuring the hydraulics I'm not too sure about. I'll just basically turn everything on prior to departure, but we'll see how we get on. If there's anyone that's flown the 7576, I think Matt Presley, you're on the 76, aren't you? So your input would be greatly appreciated at any point during today. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. We've got the ground power connected, so we'll get the battery on, which is here under a guard. We'll close that, put the standby power to auto, and connect the external power and open the bus. Close the bus tie relays. There we are. So that's all sorted. We have electrical power connected to the aircraft. I think X-Plane has this sort of default GSX thing going on, so I think at some point we'll see tugs and Ground cuts slowly moving into position. There we are. So they're going to hopefully load some things in there. The checklist in the EFB can help you along some. Oh, we'll be fine, right? Every Boeing's the same. What is our final reserve today? Is there any standby 767s waiting in case the RB211 sounds are not okay? Hopefully we'll be able to switch in menu to the CF6s. But I was like, no, the buzz sound on the RB211, we've got to use those. Anyway, let's do a sort of overhead panel scan. We'll do a little bit out of sequence to what I'm used to. So we'll put the IRS to nav. We'll turn on the yaw dampers. We'll turn on the electric engine control switches. Close those guards. The hydraulic systems are sort of similar to the 777, but very different to the 75, I found. So I guess there's a correct sequence to turning these on, but we'll do something like this. What could possibly go wrong? There we are. We've done everything on. We'll turn on the buses, IDGs. So when the engines come on, they automatically connect. AP we won't start just yet. In fact, what's the temperature? Yeah, it's only 19 degrees outside. We can leave those off for now. Cargo heat will leave off. Arm the emergency exit lights. Turn on the engine limiters. Fuel pumps I've already pre-fueled. 13.6 tons. We've got an extra 30 minutes of fuel today for potential thunderstorms en route. Lighting, we could turn on the position lights. Window heat will turn on. No smoking on, and the seatbelt sign can come on. The elevation at our destination, San Jose, is quite high. I think it's about 3,000 feet, 3,022 feet. So we'll set this to 3,020. There we are. Auto rate to this little icon here to ensure that we pressurise. That's all configured and set. We'll unlock the flight deck door. Put these switches to the auto position. Auto. See the cabin temperature is a cool 16.2. Very nice. Trim airs on, recircs. All these in auto. Isolation valves will open. We'll open the central isolation valve, and all the bleeds on it apart from the AP bleed for when we started. Mode select as well. Oh yeah, thank you. Otherwise we will depressurise. Thank you. That's all configured and set. Flight directors will pop on. No ATC here at the moment. I think it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, so all our South American controllers will be having their breakfast. But right now it's a nice day in Guatemala. I'll bring up the charts. We'll talk about the routing shortly, but let's have a look here. Weather right now. So yeah, it's winds from the north, 12 knots. So we'll depart off runway 02, 10k, few at 1400, scattered at 8,000, 20 degrees. But en route weather-wise, I think we've got. You can bring the SIG weather charts up here, can't you? Really powerful tool, this with Navigraph. It's great. So we've got some icing here. Occasional CBs look just to the west of our position. Should be okay. They've updated this. Before the stream there was CBs in our area, but look, we'll take the 30 minutes extra fuel anyway. But that's our sector. There we are, Central America. We don't often fly in this part of the world, but nice to visit it virtually. Perfect. Thanks for subscribing there, Hilson. Welcome on board. Don't do a Helios. I will do, Alex. Yeah, if that switches in that position, that's for sure. So runway QDM then for 02. We're very high here, 5,000 feet. Terrain all around, so we'll have to accurately fly the standard instrument departure. But it will be 02. Runway heading 017. So we'll set that here. 017. Looking at the SID, I don't think there's any SID stop altitudes or flight levels, so what we'll do, we'll go straight up to our planned cruise level, which is 350, and just keep climbing basically. So flight level 350 we'll set on the MCP. There we are. More modern than the NG, so we'll leave these in auto after start. I think it's stuck in manual at the moment, never mind. That's all good. We'll do the performance in a second, load the FMC shortly, and the radio tuning panel is set. Actually, let's go straight into loading the FMC now. So I think there is a way to sync this with SimBrief. I haven't worked out how to do it. I'll just have to enter the routing manually, which isn't very long today anyway. So FMC, latest AirRack is all installed. We'll enter our IRS position, so POS in it, GPS positions in, the airport code is Mike Golf Tango route, and we'll put in Mike Golf Tango. So you guys have already got the charts up. So flights, view SimBrief OFP. So fuel I preloaded before the start of the stream. We've got 13,290, so minimum block fuel is that. That includes that 30 minutes of fuel here. If you look here on the overhead panel, you can see I've got 13.5 on board. The tablet is still the original dodgy 2D one. It's okay, it works, but you can see here I preloaded all the fuel. Passenger full load, 235 passengers, 9.9 tons of cargo, so we're very heavy for departure. All looking good. Our destination then, let's go for our routing, is Mike Romeo Oscar Charlie. Thanks for subscribing as well, Bob. Welcome on board. It does via company route, but you have to enter it if memory serves. Yeah, I think you have to download the file manually, Ryan. I'm not sure, but look, we'll just put it in manually. It's such a short sector. Alpaca 76 Foxtrot today. Oops, wrong box. Oops, helps if I put the full call sign in as well. 76 Foxtrot. Departing runway 02. It's going to be a Capan 2 Alpha. Many SIDS, and from there we're going to be routing Capan Upper Gulf 436, which is along the Pacific coastline, all the way to Lima India Bravo, and then it's the Barra 3 Lima arrival via Lib. So departure arrivals, we'll expect ILS Zulu 07 with the winds. I know it's an Otina transition, and the arrivals are Barra 3 Lima. And it's the Lima transition. So route, activate, execute. Just check for any discontinuities. So we'll move this to plan. All these original 7.3s and 7.5s had the... I'm just going to turn off the Tobii Eye Tracker plugin here, guys. Stand by. Where is it? Just plays with the mucks around with the default camera. There we are. Yeah, so Orada to Lib, there's a discontinuity. If we check the flight plan here, you'll see it should join up. So Orada, then Lima India Bravo, so we can just join the dots. Execute, perfect, there we go. Silas, well, shit, looks like you've got the specs up there now from chat. Brilliant. Right, let's do the performance then. Zero fuel weight's in, 124.1 tons zero fuel weight. Our alternate is Liberia, which is just here, look, to the northwest, because it's the second biggest city in Costa Rica. Oops. There we are. Don't know why my chart's disappearing. What's the alternate there? How much fuel do we need? 4.1 tons. Cost index, we went with 25 today. Don't forget to put our cruise level, which is 350. Winds, oh look at that, average wind is 0.51 and 1 knot. Very light and variable. Nice day to go flying, that's for sure. We'll put that in. Right, takeoff. Performance is going to be quite limiting today, so let's use the performance calculator from Navigraph. So here we are. Takeoff. So 02, winds are in, we'll go full length for optimum. Takeoff weight 137.15. Yeah, that's close enough. Let's just calculate that. So flat 5, full thrust, I think that's DTO with 47 degrees. Speeds increased to improve climb. Alright, so flat 5, full thrust, 47 degrees. And that is in CG, we can push this. And then we'll check the speeds. These have been improved climb speeds, so they've been added up. So we'll use the speeds from Navigraph. 45, 47, 51. 45, 57. Oh, 47. And 151. Perfect. Trim, we need to set 4.1 units, which is down here. It's already set. And V2 is already set on the MCP. Superb. Right. FMC's loaded. Performance is done. Start the APU, we'll do our briefings and we'll get on out of here. What an easy aircraft to set up, eh? No problems at all. APU is up here. Start. There we are. And then I think you press system here. There you can see the APU booting up. There we go. Doesn't take long to start. Hilson says it's absolutely normal. Not sure what that's referring to. Ryan says, if you have a very high cruise wind, do you think do you do anything special? I got a 128 knot cruise wind recently. Seemed to mess with the sim a bit, but imagine real life is just making a note of it. Yes, pretty much. The aircraft is quite capable of dealing with any turns caused by strong winds, whereas sim aircraft can sometimes struggle with that.
Ground cockpit. Tow is driving up.
There we are. That's the tow on its way. Oh, Mark, I wonder if the weather will show the volcano activity. Yeah, maybe put it as clouds or something. That would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? Oops, what did I just turn? I think it was the course. APU's nearly finished booting up. Water brake to RTO. Yeah, AP bleeds on. And we've got pressurisation. Good. I've been messing around with quite a lot of the sound settings, so it's probably why we can't hear the conditioned air coming in. One of these. Yeah, the sound pack I think overrides a lot of these. Should these be turned down? Oh, I've turned them up now. There we go.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Great, let's look at our routing here and taxi briefing. So, we shall push back. There's my charts, there we are. Where are we? There we go. So we're going to push back here to face south. Actually, we're sort of in the corner here, so what we'll do, we'll push back. If I go outside here, I know the charts are still up. Sort of interesting. Can't really. I'll do a long pushback then, basically, to put ourselves here to vacate via Tango, and then we'll make a right turn, taxi on the parallel to runway 02. It's a very narrow taxiway. The whole point's here, so you've sort of got to hold a beam on the what's the word, taxiway, as opposed to the whole point. And then let's have a look at this SID, because it's an immediate, well, not an immediate turn, climb to 7,000 feet, or Alpha Uniform Romeo. Interesting. What's this all coded as? Palen. Is that correctly coded? This says climb on Alpha Uniform Romeo, radial 012 until 7,000 feet. Right turn track 155. I think it's just showing you like the VOR over the field, and then Palen. But it's got it there. Interesting. Not sure why that's there, but Alpha Uniform Romeo is here. Not sure. We might have to use heading select. That's something I'd definitely be querying in real life. But we've got 7,000 feet or above, and a right turn to Palen. We'll just make sure we don't keep going north until we hit anything, and then once we get to Palen, it's a right turn. And tracking outbound on the 155 from Rabanal, and then we're intercepting the 128 radial to Capan. Got 130 Capan, that's fine. Great, that's all coded as we want, I think. Doors will close, and we'll just get the external power disconnected. So AP generator's on, so disconnect the external power, and we'll go here, ground, remove all. And then airplane, close all doors. Okie dokie. Good. Alright, look at that. 20 minutes into the stream, I'm ready for pushback. That was an ultra quick setup, wasn't it, as well? Doing well. Franco Bob, I was going to join Alpaca Ways, but I read one of the requirements says I cannot be a llama. I guess that's a deal breaker, I'm afraid, so goodbye. Endplate says turn off screen and CDO glue under effect parameters in the AFB. I quite like that screen glow effect. I know you can turn it off, but is it better to do so? Is there something I'm missing? Laurie, there was an incident with a 767 at this very airport went over around the runway. There's a video footage from within the cabin. Too high and too fast, wet runway and tailwind back in the 90s. No way. Well, actually, I was going to originally plan to fly DHL because where we're flying into, I think it was San Jose, a DHL 757 crash landed. They lost all hydraulics. That was only a few years ago. But unfortunately, FlightFactor, I bought the 767-300, but then you don't get the freighter version by stock. You've got to get the expanded version. So I just sort of went with the passenger variant today. We're a full load of passengers. Which reminds me, Alpaca Airways, don't forget it's completely free to join, and you can log your flights as we are now at Alpaca 76 Foxtrot. Great. So maybe we put this one on the runway. I'll try. I'll try. Right, start pushback.
Please show me where you want to go.
So we're going to do quite a long pushback here to exit the point we want to. Perfect, something like that.
Tow connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking
Just
brake.
realised there's an out disagree. 1021. Sorry, Jim, I never set your altimeter. 1021. And standby is set as well. Great. So, air conditioning packs off. Anti-collision light can come on. Parking brake will release. And transponder.
Starting pushback, and
Out
you may
off.
start engines.
Perfect. Yeah, you can definitely see the texture improvements with the add-on, that's for sure. All the textures in the cockpit. Guatemala City is a sketchy airport to begin with. It's on a whole other level when it's wet. We have endless warnings about it. Oh, oops, I forgot maybe to detach all the ground equipment, but there we are. Right, hopefully the sounds will work. Starting engine number 2. Oh, it's a Rolls Royce, isn't it? So we're going to have N3. Oh yeah, that sound pack's working for sure. Welcome, Boeing 767. I think we're okay to put the fuel on. Still had that rapid EGT increase with as they had with the older jets as the bus going. Sounds good though. Oh, Douglas, your story yesterday on Instagram with my kid was cuteness overload. Yes, the elephants. Oh, the bane of my life. It's very cute though. Sensory Tories right now. Innovation of new octopus-based taxi lighting, yes. There we are. Sounds great. Okay, looks like a good start on engine number 2. 2 stable. Oh, yeah, Rolls Royce and all their multiple N1, N2, N3s. Starting engine number 1. So we've got N1, N2, N3. Oil pressure's here. I guess over the pink bug we can insert fuel, which I'll do now. Oh yes. Bassy. Yeah, but you still have the Labrador. Jack, yes, he's downstairs as we speak. He might come up later. But yeah, come join me in San Francisco later, guys, for a overnight stream. 10 o'clock start. I'll probably head to bed about midnight. Hopefully when I wake up we'll be on the approach to the UK somewhere. But we're going to try 2024. See how it is. Yeah, the default sounds of the FlightFactor, they're alright, but you really need to invest in the sound pack. You've got the Mango Studio sound pack actually. I'm sure if I contacted them they would have very kindly sent it over, but the FT Sim sound pack Patreon is like $2 a month to subscribe, so... Alright, 2 good starts. We'll do the before taxi flow now. So generators are already on. I guess we leave the APU generator on, but we just turn it off. Star switch is none. Pro beat, anti-ice not required. Air conditioning, packs auto. Do I close this? I think I'll leave that open because that light came on. Yeah, I'll leave that open. Just turn the APU bleed off.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Perfect. Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Standby.
Flight controls. I'm in my shorts today, ladies and gentlemen. Forward, back, left, right. Rudders, right, and... Uh-oh. Oh! I've just realised something. My rudders aren't working. What is it with X-Plane and my rudder... They were working fine on my test sector. Fine. Oh, they are. Is it just the tiller's not connected? Well, the rudder's working, but the pedals aren't. Let's see what happens when I start moving. Alright, flap. Yeah, sorry, flaps. Stop up before taxi flow. Flaps to 5. Ailerons and spoilers are moving.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. And signal
Fouls look so much better in X-Plane 12.
Have a safe flight.
There's some weird artifacts sometimes. They look a bit funky, but it's really looking and improving throughout. Right. Flight controls checked. There's recall just showing parking brake. Perfect. Alright, let's just taxi and see what happens with the rudder. So taxi and turn offs on. Release the parking brake. Do a quick config check. Good, no config warning. Oh, nice sounds. Oh, we're turning. The rudder pedals just aren't animated. Oh, those sounds, guys. I'm so happy to have switched the RB211s. They are RB211s, right? Ah, yeah. Gotta have a decent sound pack with all your add-ons, guys. It's so important. I don't think there's anyone here unicomming, but I will inform everyone of my intentions. Guatemala traffic, Alpaca 76 Foxtrot taxi runway 02 departure east. Right. Alfafa. Yeah, so I downloaded Ortho for the airport this time, but it was so bad. It was completely flat. Got rid of all the static objects, or the 3D objects.
Welcome.
It actually doesn't look that bad. I might not always download Ortho for the airports. Thank you for subscribing. That's Arabic. Welcome on board, sir. Or madam. Oh, yes. What do you think of the textures, guys? They're great, aren't they? What an improvement. It's a bit uphill here. Swishers a little bit louder out the side, like with the Felis. Very narrow taxiway. Oh, awesome. Can't wait for the 7.5 update. I think the 7.5 is receiving the same sort of love, Marley Paco. In fact, if they had done the 7.5, I would have looked at that because I already own it, but I needed to get this 7.6 in my library anyway. Direct to sim, this is the FT Sim sound pack, which is a subscription-based model for Patreon. So you can subscribe for €2, download as many as you like, and then cancel if you want. Well, let's do the before takeoff checklist. Ground speed to 21 knots. So config we checked. Flaps we have 5. Stab trim set 4.1 units. Takeoff briefing. Pax order bleeds on. V speed set for departure. They are 45, 47, 51 on the MCP. The departure is going to be the Capan 2 Alpha, straight ahead 7,000 feet, right turn Paylen. Climbing straight up to flight level 350. We'll treat it as NADP, whatever LNAV says, which I'm turning on now, and any problems will climb. Not straight ahead. Terrain is off to the north. We'll make an immediate right turn southbound. Actually, that way's not much better, to be fair. With a lovely day, VMC will keep clearing mountains. Reviews. Yeah, these are Rolls-Royce engines, Andrea. RB211s, I think. 30 minutes into the stream and almost to take off. I love flying Boeing. Just know how it works. Easy. Oh, that sounds superb. Also, I spoke to Just Light today as well. I'm hoping to get the Black Square Starship. Have you guys seen this aircraft? Black Square's made some really nice add-ons. I think I flew their Duke, and it was really, really nice. But Starship's really fun, you know, quite well known in the F-Geek world, so I thought that would be quite a fun aircraft to fly. Would you say textures the 7.6 now as good as the 7.7 textures are? I love the texture on this. This looks great. I think their 777 is probably a little bit better, but it's marked improvement. Yeah, if guys want to join me on the long haul later, feel free to do so. Just bear in mind, probably you will do the same. I will be logging off that sim when I go to bed, but then log back in again for the approach. Right, we're all ready for departure, guys. Lights on, strobes. We'll better lock the flight deck door. Yeah, strobes are on. Weather radar is here. +5 on the tilt. Stand by, just get to the whole point, guys. Perfect. So weather radar, I think it's on the EFIS panel here. So weather, make sure airports is selected as well. Alright, I think we're good. Oh yeah, crikey, something's painting. It's in test. Lights looking good, yeah. It's interesting houses. I want to be living there. Yeah, the texture of that seat needs a bit of improving. I love the lump on this runway. It's quite short here. I'm quite concerned because on my test sector I went full thrust and I nearly used all the runway. I now have an assumed temperature, but I do have a much stronger headwind today. Pay for runway user. Why are you stuck on test? Oh, yeah, it's because I've selected test. This is the latest official 767. Yes, it's in beta, but it is the latest one from FlightFactor. Oh, I've slightly overshot the centre line. Never mind, something to fix on the takeoff roll. Right, Toke's in chat. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to be using a lot of this runway. So, timer is down here. There we are. Might just hold the brakes a little bit. So, yes, we'll be fine. Brakes are here. Alright, yeah. Where's that Toga switch? I think it's assigned to this button here, isn't it? Set takeoff thrust. Oh, takeoff. Thrust indications normal. Superb. Airspeed alive. There's 80 knots from hold, releasing forward pressure. Was V1 145 knots. Oh, my nose wheel seems to be jumping around a bit. Oh gosh. V1 rotates. Yeah, loads of runway left. Oh, 05. Here's up. Oh gosh, immediate left turn. Oh, too quiet. Silent 7.6. Oh god, what's happened to my lighting? I'm colourblind. Right, VNAV speed, so it's accelerated to 220 knots. And we're passing 7,000 feet. There's F. I think I'll go flat 1. There we are, right turn. And another F, go flaps up. The good old Toga screw, I know. We don't have an ortho around here, so this is just stock Explain 12 scenery here. It's not that bad, is it? It's alright. We have got ortho en route though. So we're already commanding 250 knots. So this is the right turn to Palen, and then we're going to intercept the 155 radial from Rabinal. So standard. It's quite hard to hand fly set standard. Have to look at Jim's fly directors. Gosh. I think, is there an option to have the sync on? I don't know with the FlightFactor aircraft. Where we go? Where's LNAV taking me? Is it to intercept that? Crikey. I'm not sure where LNAV's taking me. Oh, there we are. It's to intercept the course, I think. Right, already accelerating to our econ climb speed. Alright, I'm in trim. Command. Already passing flight level 100, but better do the after takeoff checklist. Gears off, water brakes off, air conditioning and pressurisation. Diff pressure is already 3 psi. Cabin rate of climb is just below 1,000 feet per minute. Cabin altitude is 4,000 feet set. Belts off, no smoking off. Checks complete. There we are. So that's all default yucky X-Plane 12. yeah, it's okay. But we have got auto en route. I had to go into cloud. Look. There's some real depth to clouds and X-plane at 12 now, which is great. What's the temperature? Static air temperature. Where on earth do we find that? Probably on a silly little nadir. 0 degrees. Engine anti-ice on. I've disabled all the ground cabin crew calls. It's really annoying in the FlightFactor. They keep going off. Engine anti-ice on. Sorry, no smoking off. You're right. Yeah, we do allow smoking at Black Railways. Just no e-cigarettes. It has to be a cigar. I'm not sure what the aircraft's done navigation-wise. Oh gosh, what's happened to the lighting? Very nice. It was just whilst we're in the cloud there. Have a look at that in a second. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's routing to this point. Or maybe it's just done an intercept. Yeah, it's basically intercepting. Hasn't gone via Paylen. It's going to intercept this radial though. RAB43. Why don't you use auto-ortho? Well, the ortho around the airport here was dreadful, which is why I downloaded and got rid of it. But, you know, most of the time I'm here, so it doesn't really matter. But it just means that the runway... Let's turn the sim down here. The runway's not slopes all nice. It's, you don't have any issues and things like that. So I might start using it a bit, or not using ortho tiles in the airport a little more. Anyway, so it's sort of just skipped Paylen. However, does that show Paylen as the active waypoint? Yeah, I broke it. 9 miles to Paylen. And it's still showing 9 miles to Paylen, and it's behind me. I think what I best do, and it's 10 miles now. I'm just going to bring that to the top and execute it. There we are. Beautiful. Right, ETA 15:20. Hour 10 minutes. Now it's sort of happy we're routing towards a waypoint I've selected. Passing 20,000 feet. Great performance this aircraft. 3.5 or so 3,000 feet per minute. Diff pressure still good. I mean, default X-plane isn't that bad. This is when Microsoft Flight Sim comes in its own with its ability to just have photo scenery looking really good. Well, it doesn't look everywhere that great. I remember when we flew in the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Fokker F-28, it looked awful. Luke Zaban, thank you very much for your donation, buddy. $4.49. I have no idea why that's not come through on the ping thing, but thank you very much for your generosity, buddy. You've sent a pair with a thumbs up emoji. Cheers. Why on earth does that not ping up? I'm just going to test my widgets. That's not you. That's a random one. No, it's working fine, but I don't know why it's not come through, Luke. Just ignore that. That's you can just test it and see if it works. And then we'll have
test super chat message.
Still stock there. I think the ortho's coming in soon though. Yeah, now we're on track. It's navigating accurately. It's just struggled a little bit with that. God, look at the clouds, guys. This is the latest beta. Well, that's working. Simbear, thank you very much. You just gifted a membership to the channel. Thank you very much, buddy. I just didn't realise how loud this was. Welcome, tenured amoeba. You've been gifted a membership from Simbear, a very generous member, who's a member himself. So thank you very much, Simbear. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And welcome, tenured amoeba. Beautiful. I love all these little scratches on the top here. Yeah, it's a great improvement, isn't it? Look at the views. Beautiful over Central America today. Nate, hello, I've been playing with doing X-Plane 12 again, but I have all of my airports and Microsoft Flight Sim. Any tips or thoughts? Well, that's completely up to you to decide what to do. The default airports and X-Plane are of a higher calibre than in Microsoft Flight Sim, but if you've invested a lot of airports in Microsoft Flight Sim, I mean, you could be like most people. Well, I say most. I think probably most of you actually only use one sim, but a lot of people use both. So consider using X-Plane and still using your scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. Beautiful. There you go. You can see where the ortho tile starts. So there's that line where my mouse cursor is. Stock and then ortho here. Oh, that looks amazing. Sort of dark under. There's real shadows now over the sort of overcast cirrus here, so it's all dark underneath. That's amazing. No, Gary, I don't think they'll ever fix the cockpit lighting. It can't quite make its mind up if it's dark or bright. That looks absolutely superb, the clouds over there, though. What an improvement. Oh gosh, I've left the engine anti on. I don't need that on anymore. There we go. Beautiful. See the flapperon flapping around. Hello, El Catracho. Did you know that in Central America we have a nickname for each other? Guatemalans are Chapines, Salvadorians, and Guanacos. And Hondurans are Gatarochas. Nicas, Costa Ricans are Ticos. I did my best to read that. Very interesting, El Catracho. And where are you from in Central America? I'd hazard to guess this is your neck of the woods. Hello, Swimming Climb. I don't have the hard drive space for both Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Link 12, as Microsoft Flight Sim is way over 1 terabyte. Maybe you should look into 2024, which is actually streamed online, so you don't actually need much hard drive space. I've got 3. Cheers, Rosie. Flight Sim showing off his C2 level Spanish here. A C. Oh dear. Anyway, on our way. There we are. So we're sort of routing from Guatemala. This is Nicaragua. To enter the airspace, then we're into Costa Rican airspace, sort of in. Well, it's not really oceanic airspace. I don't know whose area responsibility this would be in reality, but yeah, we've never been to Costa Rica on any live stream. Beautiful. But you can sort of see the textures down there. Fine for us in the cruise, but it's really blurry
50,
when you're close.
40, 30.
Sasha, thank you very much.
20,
I see that the lighting, look,
yeah.
when you come back in, it will sort itself out in a second. Thanks, Sasha.
Great fun with my mum earlier. She wanted to fly into Dubrovnik as they are going there soon. She landed sort of near the runway. Quality's time.
Thank you very much, Sasha, for your donation. Very kind. And she landed virtually in Dubrovnik. She landed sort of near the runway. Oh, very good, very good. Yes, Joe's not had a go on the sim. She really doesn't. It's not her thing. This sort of tech. I've had friends have a go, and it's usually some they get on the runway. Whether it's the right way up or not is another thing. There you go. Practice makes perfect. Fantastic. Nate, that bugs me. Yeah, is that the flashing cockpit lighting? Yeah, I think it's if I go outside, isn't it? Gosh, I've not turned my lights off, guys. How unprofessional. There we are. Yeah, great performance now on route. We're getting about 50 FPS. There we go. Joseph had some vacation in Costa Rica in January. Great place to visit. Very cool. Crazy Sarcasm said picking up Spanish from the ATC, more familiar with insults than making Spanish. Brilliant. Hello, Stuart Linda. Very well, thank you. Cheers, Al Catracho. Yeah, his pronunciation is definitely not the best, but he tries. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all that matters. Effort. On to go. God, it only took 12 minutes to get to 35,000 feet. We're fully loaded as well, full load of passengers, 10 tons of cargo. Obviously we have a lot of air in our fuel tanks on this sector. Now we're out. Nice smooth transition to flight level 350. Oh crikey, thrust is coming off quick. Slight balloon, but we're here. Mach point, it's quite slow actually. 7.6, isn't it? Our equal cruise speed is right between 769 and 770, apparently. So close, you can't decide which one to do. It's quite slow. I thought this cruised at like 0.82 or something. There we are though, look. It's been louder on the external views, isn't it? Oh no, the lighting, the lighting! I think it's when you're in the shadow of a cloud you get this sort of, oh crikey, when are they going to sort that out? So this has auto VOR tune. I think you just, oh that one, no, that one's always manual. So it tunes the VORs automatically en route, and then you tune the ILS frequency here. It's exactly the same as the 7.5, isn't it? Exactly the same. But, yeah, there's no one here on VATSIM. In fact, let's have a look on the VATSIM map. We're probably all on our lonesome, aren't we? Let's have a look here. Busy in Europe, of course. Oh, I'm the only one. There I am. Look. Alpaca 76 Foxtrot. I'm the only person in El Salvador. There's a United and a Aeromexico, I should say. Not much going on in VATSIM around here, is there? Whereas Europe is like this. And it's 4 o'clock. You give it another couple of hours, this will be twice as much traffic. Anyway, I wonder if there's any other alpacas flying. No, I'm the only alpaca on VATSIM. That's very sad. And there's obviously the airport. There's one alpaca. Oh dear. Our virtual airline is waiting. Makes me very sad. Oh dear. That's what I was looking for. Anyway, we'll represent. Beautiful scenery. And then we've got the Pacific Ocean. There you go. There's the coastline over there. Swim Club, what is the max range of the 767? I remember flying on one many years ago from Vancouver to Manchester one way. I'm sure it was the 76. Also UK to Toronto flight. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, haven't United still got a lot of these, and they're going to keep flying them for quite a considerable amount of time. I don't think there's many in Europe flying. I think TUI got rid of their 76s in the last few years. In fact, I flew on a 76 to Cape Verde about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm not even flying Alpaca later, I'm flying Speedbird. We're going Nigel Airways because there's no Alpaca Airways liveries for the PMDG 777-200, let alone in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Oh, look at that volcano. So what city is this? It's San Salvador. You can even see the volcano on there on the chart. There we go, look at that. Imagine you flying a Nigel bus, Sam. Oh, that'd be awful. You've embraced the Nigel recently. I've not flown. I've flown British Airways once before. I flew the FlightFactor 777BA. But I think that's the only other time. Crazy sarcasm. Hope you've prepared a more posh accent for VATSIM if you're speedbirding. Yes. Welcome on board. One and all. Gosh, I'm going to be going into Heathrow where everyone's speedbird this, but we should be. The plan is, guys, start the stream at 10, push back at 10:30, airborne about 10:45. Just hang out with you guys for an hour. Midnight, go to bed. Up a bit before around 7 o'clock, and land about 9. 7-hour timer set. So we'll start the time at midnight. Joseph Peterson, my first commercial flight was in 1998 from Chicago to Orlando on a 760. Very, very cool. Stuart, you flew Britannia to Dominican Republic in 1994, which became TUI, of course. Douglas, you flew 767-400 from Sao Paulo to Newark, and the Delta 767-300 from Sao Paulo to Atlanta. Don't recommend. Very cool. Crazy sarcasm, giving some good examples of how to speak on the radio. Cool, that's nasty. If you're flying near that. Is that actually a storm or a cell? Again, I'm quite curious with how weather's depicted in simulators. Where's that weather tab? So we'll get rid of the forecast Wind barb, sig weather. We just want radar on. Not really. There's something here, but not to the degree of what we can see off to the right-hand side. That would suggest there's a little bit of light rain. However, visually that would suggest a whopping great big CB. Stephen, failures switched on, yeah? I think, Stephen, you always like failures on. I think they're on by default in the FlightFactor, aren't they? Or is it like service-based failures? Sam, I didn't actually fly it myself, but I've mastered the level D767 back in the day, so I definitely could. Very cool. Zippy, that's why I ran a red nose during Cross the Pond. The thoughts of joining the Air France Army was not appealing, and it would have been difficult to listen for my call sign. Yeah, I find that whenever I fly not Alpaca or not my operator, I find it quite difficult to listen out for my call sign. So I'll need to go for like Speedbird 777 or something like that. But yeah, I've already generated the flight plan for that. Stephen, I'm thinking I'm always in awe of the machine's ability to recover from all kinds of issues. Makes them all the more magical. Well, the amount of redundancy built into it, and also even if we lose an entire system, there's a backup. That's what makes aviation so incredibly safe. And the fact that the aircraft are maintained frequently to a very high standard. Sam, how far north are we going on the SFO sector? I'll show you. Let me just grab the flight plan from SimBrief still. I think you can view save flight plans. Would you like Sam? Because I think you said you'd like to join. I can copy and paste my routing in for you. Hold on. So let me just go here to SimBrief, saved flights. There we are. Show flight history. I was gonna do Cape Town, but it was just a bit too long, a little bit too long. Maybe it's something a bit faster. So Seattle was a little bit too short, so I went with San Francisco. So Seattle didn't give me enough time to sleep, so I found one that was good. Anyway, this is the routing. There we are. So northeast, tip of Canada. So what I'll do, I'll copy and paste the routing in. So if you wish to join me later. Can do. Yeah, it goes above 6 degrees north. It's about 63 degrees north. Cool. So what I'll do, I'll find the live stream. I'll copy and paste the routing in. There we are. I don't know if it'll fit it in YouTube. No, I'll have to chop a bit off, guys. Oh, hold on. I can't get any of that routing. It's too much. I have to come in twice, and then the second part of that is there. Perfect. That's the routing. Welcome, Gutser. Thanks for your subscription. San Fran is taking advantage of Jetstream out of Canada. Yeah, I mean it's. I think it'll be probably longer than the Tokyo LA route we did. I should have really gone from LA, wouldn't I? A continuation of the long haul flight, but San Fran. I've got the really nice Flight Beam Studio scenery for it, which works in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, so I'm stuck with that. Swim, climb up short cargo jet in Canada, use the 767 freighter for air freight. I mean, there's loads of converted 767 freighters. Yeah, 2 tons, 10.5 hours, San Francisco to Heathrow. That is the optimal stream because I want to try and keep it less than 12 hours. So that gives me time to set up an approach. So 10 hours around that window is great for these sort of night-time long-haul flights. Guys, a lot of volcanoes around here, isn't there? Another one there. There's the Pacific Ocean. I wonder how many flights there are between Nicaragua, where are we going from? Guatemala, sorry, and Costa Rica. Beautiful there. Look at those clouds in the distance. Start setting up for the approach soon, guys, anyway. Well, it is the meeting of two major plates. Ah, there you go. What tectonic plates are they? Guilherme Penafa, yes, this is X-Plane's default weather. And terrible cockpit lighting. Still an issue. I mean, it's brighter, but can we just stop with the random light changes as we see every time I come back into the cockpit? Just put this weather radar tilt down slightly. Still pointing up into the stratosphere, -1 will do. No stop and descent, just about 160 miles to go. So we'll get around 100 miles away, we'll start setting up. You're welcome, Guilherme. Thanks for popping in, buddy. Oh, there we go. So a bit of weather. Well, that's ground clutter. Two tons, 9.5 hours from Dallas Fort Worth. May join on the arrival and choose to step after 2 AM local. Oh. Yeah, we'll depart off VATSIM in San Fran at 10 o'clock. We might even get some ATC at that hour. But once we're airborne around midnight British summer time, we'll log off and I'll leave you in hopefully the capable hands of the autopilot or auto gym. Hopefully we'll get us to Heathrow. The Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 should be utilising this streaming and performance should be good. I fired up the PMDD 777 in Flybeam Studios. I was very impressed with the performance. Two tons. I've not. When did I last fly X-Plane? Was it the group flight? It's been a while. So I can't answer that question really. I have seen it on other aircraft though, I think in the beta running test sectors. Edo has it, there you go. Edo has it in the Feeler 742. So I think it's to do with flying through cloud and it's trying to put a shadow in the cockpit. But if they could just sort of fix that, that's fine. Regardless, the textures in this is superb. Let's just do a little fuel check when we approach Alteg, see how things are. Douglas, there is New York FNO, so that we need to disconnect before that to avoid ATC during sleep hours. Oh yeah, crikey, if I'm not in the virtual flight deck, I won't be online. So yeah, we won't stay online whilst I'm asleep. I think that's against the that's in terms of use anyway. I mean, I don't know what the official ruling is. If you fly over the Atlantic or a body of water, you log off and then log back in for the approach. As long as you don't like log in on a 3-mile flight at Heathrow during a busy event, you know, just log in the cruise, probably 100 miles from top of descent, won't cause any major issues. But it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll be a weekend, but probably no ATC. Hello, Will Smith. Didn't know you were interested in flight streaming. Could you explain the difference between wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice, and when you typically use each one? Well, yes, engine anti-ice eats the cowl lip here. I don't know about the 7.6, probably similar to the NG, but that takes heat directly from the bleed system, and that's to remove, or prevent, I should say, icing on the cowl lip. You don't want ice forming here, melting going into the engine. So we use engine anti-ice as a sort of preventative anti-icing tool. We use it in icing conditions whenever the temperature is below -40. Above -40, I should say, or below 10. Wing anti-ice, now on the 7.3, again, it might be different for their aircraft, we use it as a de-icer primarily, so we'll actually allow ice to build up. Oh, there's lighting. And we can tell it's building up because you'll see ice forming on the wipers in the 7.3, so if it's forming on the wipers, you know it's forming on the wing. And then you just use it as a de-icer. Hope that answers your question. Lauren, yeah, logging off then, back in is fine as long as you're reasonable when you log back on. Absolutely. So yeah, like I said, not on a 3-mile fine or during a busy VATSIM event. And AG for an hour, yeah, exactly. Check the VATSIM radar. Great question there, Kodama. What happens if you're flying a long-haul flight and the air cycle changes whilst you're mid-flight? Absolutely nothing. There's a grace period as well. I've flown with an expired database. You think you have to mention something on your flight plan rang me up and said, but and then when we were down route, they updated it. It took about 45 minutes. It plugged in like a floppy, like a Windows XP laptop, or whatever it was. Will needed a change of career since the Chris Rock instance. I'm not up to current affairs, but that's where he gave him a massive slap during the Oscars, wasn't it? Talking about current affairs, this Donald Trump, Elon Musk spat. Absolutely hilarious reading that this morning. I mean, you've got the world's most powerful man, the world's richest man. It's like schoolyard playground antics. That was hilarious. I was crying. Anyway, we won't go down that slippery track. Dearie me. Anyway, approaching outtake. Let's just do a little fuel and time check here. We've been airborne now for 29 minutes. 1 hour into the stream, always halfway through. It's going to be a lovely, sweet short sector. But yeah, we're enjoying the aircraft anyway. I'll have a look at what else FlightFactor have been up to regarding the beta update here. Where are you, outtake? There we are. So 30 minutes into the flight, 29, perfect. Should have 9 tons of fuel on board. We have 9.8, so we saved 800 kilos. 4.2 fuel used. Where's fuel used in the 7.6? 3.8. 4.2. Yeah, so the fuel burns saving quite a bit of fuel. There wasn't a FlightFactor 767 profile in SimBrief. It's just like a generic 767 one, so it should be okay. 2 alpha males. It was inevitable, absolutely. So let's see what FlightFactor actually updated here with this aircraft. Here we go. So they updated the 7.5 as well, but they didn't get the same sort of wider visual performance and compatibility improvements. It's coming though for the 7.5, but the 7.6 they fully remade the textures for X-Plane 12 with new effects and in higher resolution, reaching a dynamic model for all planes and engines. Reanimated switches, triggers and buttons. Fixed some crash desktop issues, fixed incorrect terrain weather map rendering, fixed possible display rendering artifacts, fixed duct bleed indicator as well. But I mean, you can see the improvements texture-wise. It's much better. Oh, I still do a seat moving thing though. But yeah, if you've got the 767, go try it out. You've got to opt into the beta via X Update, but it's a free update. Gilham says, Captain, fewer experience in the real world. Do carriers nowadays promote manual flight during IMC conditions? Example, manual landing using ILS raw data. So, at my operator, we actually don't permit raw data flying on the line. Great opportunity to do that, but I think there was a trend many years ago between incidents happening on the line and people flying raw data, so we no longer do it. Doing it in IMC with passengers on board I don't think is a sensible thing, but maybe that's the mindset as me as a trainer at my operator. But yeah, if you're in IMC conditions, or certainly with the cloud-based close to minimums, flying raw data with 200 plus passengers on board, I don't know, I think it's not necessarily dangerous, it reduces safety margins. I think that's the best way of putting it. So I think that would be even with flight directors on, I don't think hand flying in this day and age is a good idea in what I'd call hard IMC, so close to minimums. You know, I'm not trying to. One thing I like about my writer, they do encourage hand flying when it's appropriate to do so. It's inappropriate to do it when the weather's inclement. So we do have some restrictions on autopilot usage, for example, when CBs are forecast, busy TMAs, for example. So yeah, when it's possible to do so, absolutely. And I actually do a lot more hand flying than I used to, because I don't fly a huge amount as I used to. I only do about 250, 300 hours a year. Prior to being an instructor, doing 750 plus. So I hand fly sort of from below 10,000 feet to sort of up to flight level 100 these days. Well, again, when it's appropriate to do so. Daniel says, in X Update it says blocking due removal from store, quite annoying. Oh really? When I purchased the 767, the X Updater didn't pick it up and it was red. I think you've got to wait about 24 hours for it to register or something. I don't remember if that happened to me. Stuart, as a truck driver, had to respect driving hours. What are the working hours and restrictions for a pilot? Very similar in a way to, you know, I know with truck driving you have tachos and they've got to be respected. They're very strict rules with flying, so your duty time is typically, depending on how many sectors you do, 2 sectors, about 13 hours. That can be extended by 2 hours using something called captain's discretion, where all crew members have to agree to do so, and that's usually to minimise operational disruptions, you know, try and get our passengers home. So, you know, most of the time we'll try, if we're significantly delayed, I'm happy to use captain's discretion. But yeah, it's very strict rules regarding that. The captain's discretion then is a hard limit, you can't then go over that. So 13 can become up to 15 hours. But that 13-hour limit varies based on how many sectors, when you took off. If you took off during something called the Windows circadian low, the duty time is further reduced, because naturally as humans we're meant to be sleeping at night. But we're very fortunate, well I'm very fortunate, in the fact that the EFL app we use calculates all this for you automatically. There's also a really good app for anyone that's interested. It's completely free to download, called FTL Calc, on the App Store, which you just put in your block times, your report time, and it works it out for you. Rob, tempted to buy the 76? It's a nice little add-on, you know, premium product. I think the 777 is FlightFactor's, you know, piece de la resistance, but this is a great, yeah, we all loved it, 76. There she is anyway, in alpaca colours. Koda, would you ever go back to flying jet in real life? Certainly not at this stage of my life. Maybe in a few years' time, who knows. Too much going on right now. I'm writing my speech for my wedding at the moment. Oh, stress. Oh, it's not long to go, guys. It is months, but not long. It feels like... I know it'll be tomorrow before I know. What was Boeing's first wide-body jet? It wasn't this, was it? No, 747, of course. Why am I even questioning that? 747. Of course. Don't think the 70 was wide body, was it, Douglas? I think it was narrow body, same fuselage as 73. But 74 will be. But was the 707 wide body? Excuse me, am I? What was it? Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Interesting music, guys. But there we are. Yeah, 707 not wide body, because I'm not losing my mind. Yeah, it's got the same nose as the 72 and 73. Have a look at the nose of the 70, guys. Oh, that lighting. So, like, I'm sure we're going to help you with that speech. No. Well, there's definitely a blob of weather over there, isn't there? Wait, is it over there? I can't see it visually. Right, anyway, I'll turn this dreadful music off. 80 miles till top of descent, so we'll start setting up for the approach, guys. So let's bring up Navigraph. So we're going to be flying a Barra 4 Lima. Let's jump into the FMC, so we'll put 250 below, oh, let's leave it 240 below 10,000. No forecast winds, I think, to put in it. Oh, no, I didn't mean to press that. Descend now. Oh, check out target. I thought that I was expecting the descent forecast page. Alright, I've accidentally activated descent mode early, never mind. Can you get out of it? I don't think you can re-update the cruise level, can you? Right, we'll just leave it, it's fine. Whoops, finger trouble. There's no forecast wind page in this. We can put the fixings in for the landing runway. So we're landing at Mike Romeo Oscar Charlie. Definitely runway 07. Let's have a look at the weather. 110 10 gusting 20, yeah. There we are, we'll put in a 10-mile ring, 3 times height. What are we at today? We're 35,000 feet, so 105 miles roughly from the top of descent. ChatGPT says 747, so it has to be true, I would guess so. Welcome, Bienvenido, Cabo Kungan. Thank you for your subscription, welcome. Right, let's have a look at our route then. Starting at the Liberia VOR, which is here, Lib, we're going to route to Oscar Charlie 510, Oscar Charlie 511. Now our restrictions here to be between 240 and 16,000 feet or above. Let's put it slightly below that, so let's put 16,000 feet or above. There we are, that just complies with that restriction. Oscar Charlie 507 between 12 and 17,000, so again just slightly below, so let's put the lower limit, 12,000 feet or above. Then routing towards Barra, 10 to 15,000, it's slightly above, so I'll just put 10,000 feet or above, that way VNAV should respect that limit, not go below it. Then we're going to Otina, which is at 10,000 feet, maximum speed 210 knots, which is coded correctly. Now Otina is the transition onto the ILS approach, ILS Zulu 07, there you go, so you can see Otina coming in from the north. Max 210, mandatory 10,000 feet. So elevation's quite high, 3,000 feet here. So from Otina, we're going to route direct to whatever this waypoint is. Matos, 8,000 feet, checks. Then to Kaba, and Kaba's on the extended centre line at 6,000 feet, 6,000 feet checks. And then Mavig, 6.5 miles at 5,000 feet. And then we'll go on the ILS to the minimums. 3 degrees of 224 feet RA, so barrier minimums 3164. So how do you set barrier minimums here? I don't think you can. It's 224, so I'll set something like that. Oh no, we want barrier 3160, sorry, but RA 224, which I'll set here, and that gives me the, I'll set it, round it up to 10 feet 230 to ensure that we get the rad out calls and the 7.6. So yeah, MSA look very high, 12,600 to the east, so in the event of a go-around we'll respect the fact that we've got to fly direct to Oscar Charlie 700, which is coded, right turn, inbound to Tango India Oscar VOR, which is over the field, and then we're going to make a left turn to Taru, climb to 10,000 feet, so that's the missed approach. Quite a long-winded missed approach, it's all there. Transition levels high, 200. At camera contact tower. Excellent, so we've covered everything quite nicely there. Any other information? I like these little overview charts, they're quite interesting from Jefferson. It just talks about local weather events, runway 07, what you can see. So runway is not grooved and slippy. Pappy's at 3 degrees, noise abatements are in effect. Runway has an upslope, which can create the visual illusion of being above a normal approach path. Very good. So let's have a look at the landing performance then. Nice long runway, runway 07, the terminal's all over here as well, so we'll plan to vacate possibly Delta, which is going to be around just over 2,000 metres. So let's have a look at the performance calculator. So landing 07, flap 30, brakes optimum. Well, let's try order brake 3, dry, calculates. So that's showing a landing distance of 2,040, factored 2,587. So we'll use order brake 3 with reverse. Happy days. How much weight fuel are we going to burn? So order brake 3 first. 133 tons, landing with 7.7. We've got, how much on board? 8.8. So we're going to burn 1.1 ton. So landing weight is going to be 131.9. Flat 30, order brake 3. Second detent reverse, great. We are fully set up and ready for the ILS approach into San Jose, Costa Rica, the capital. Stefan, I just saw your comment. Speech should be easy, just make it a briefing. E.g. weather, yeah. Brilliant. HDLZ says clouds look amazing from above, but below they're still a bit weird in their form. Hopefully they'll still tweak the shapes before full release. Yeah, I've seen those on my test sections. They've actually been quite nice today. Luke said, have you seen your little one in Facebook short? A captain in the making and a future captain of alpacas. Are you talking about my Instagram story where she's staring into the elephant toy? Well, no, octopus. I can't remember what animal it was. Oh dear. Right, we accidentally entered this descent logic, but keep it as it is. Costa Rica on the horizon. Welcome, Cubing Demon. I hope you're doing well, guys. ETA, for those of you who are wondering, will be landing at 16:17 Zulu. So not long to go now, about 30 minutes. Actually, do they have... Has the cabin had improved textures? Oh, flight deck door's locked. Where's that unlock button? There we are, unlock. I mean, it's still pretty basic. Yeah, it's all like flat textures. It's very quiet back here. In reality, it'd be a lot louder. Is that like the rattling window sound? Yeah, very, very basic cabin. But for some people, that's sufficient. They only want to fly the airplane from A to B. Generally, that's the case. But I do also like a bit more detail in the cabin. So it's 232. Interesting. Look at the fabric. Crikey. I'd rather have a basic cabin than 19.9 FPS. Absolutely. I do like the fact that some devs though give you the option to turn the cabin off, like the flyby what's it called? The fly-by-wire A380. You can turn the cabin off for improved performance. It's quite a nice touch. And the lighting's gone funky again. There we are. Thanks, Explain. The loo review sounds nice. Yes, unfortunately there's no loo here. Martin, how are you finding Explain 12 now compared to Flight Sim 2024? I think we're going to try. Remember, we're doing this long haul stream tonight, so you know, it will be a good comparison. It's always going to look better in Microsoft Flight Simulator, of course, but I just like how aircraft handle in this sim. Have I been? Oh, it's in 0.74. That's why. No, I want to slow down. Let's keep the speed up. Yeah, let's see how it is. I think we've got some quite nice aircraft coming to 2024 now. We're going to take the PLDG 777-200 later. I'll see how it takes off and lands. So I like both sims, but Explain for me is like I feel more comfortable with. I think it's because I've used it longer, probably. Isaac, I like how Turles has high def, low def versions of the add-ons or other aircraft devs that allow you to enable, disable the cabin. Yeah, it's a nice touch. Marvin, I think you're speaking, I'm afraid, is that German? I'm unable to translate that. Or do I dare? Still don't dare zoom in to clouds after what happened. Oh, the lighting! It's just it's all washed out when it does that. So it's whenever you leave the cockpit, basically. Two tons, check the TAF later. Heavy rain, broken 900 into Heathrow around the time you arrive for the overnight stream. I might take an extra 15 minutes holding fuel. To be fair, in real life, I hazard a guess that Heathrow at that time in the morning, the flight plan probably has some ATC fuel in it anyway, probably 15 minutes for holding. Marvin says, difficulties with sarcasm may indicate underlying cognitive or social impairments that should be considered in psychiatric diagnostics. It's a good job the Brits understand sarcasm well then. That's crazy sarcasm as it is, I don't think all that difficult. Brilliant. Beautiful. Nice to go somewhere else as well. Europe. Oh. How's the contrail quality? Or chemtrail? Very nice. Hi, does wind data uplink work on this aircraft? I don't think so, Balance. Top percent coming up. Right over the... Oh no, we're on the lib VR? I think we're just past it. No, it's coming up. It's just automatically tuned. Horizontal stabilizers painted blue, is it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've just realised that. I have to talk to, I think it's Boeing painted this. That's unusual. I've only just realised that. I mean, it's an issue with the paint kits. But yes, probably not meant to be. Well spotted, Isaac. Yeah, very blue. Never mind. Isaac, did Beta 7 fix the artifacting clouds? No frame dips zooming into clouds anymore in B6, but it was still artifacting back then. I think we've been okay so far. Speedbird Heavy, we've got the RB211s. Which engines have you got hanging off the wings? Yeah, the sounds on takeoff were amazing if you play the stream back. I mean, the 7.5 that had these is so overpowered. Right, anyway, look, there's that top of descent point. Let's set a sensible flight level to descend to, which is safe. Flight level 160. Oh no, it's actually 16,000 feet. So we'll set that now. Go to VNAV. Drag required. Anyway, our path's going down now. Probably a little bit of speed brake wouldn't be needed. We'll just get the aircraft stabilised in descent first. There it goes. I think it's just prioritising slowing down. Oh, you still push out the PFD, which is quite nice. Yeah, it's just doing a very gradual descent. Oh, come on, path. So it's a VNAV speed, so it's going to hold a speed. Once it's stabilised in the descent, we'll use some speed brakes. So down we go, top of the descent, ladies and gentlemen, into Costa Rica, San Jose. So I guess a silent J. So path's slowly coming back to monitor it. We'll set the local QNH actually, because this is an altitude, so weather altimeter is 3002. So I'm going to set that 3 times. 3002, 3002, gyms as well. Perfect. As it does a 765 fly fast narrow bodies, you see a pretty slow max speed right now. I think it was because we were stabilising the early descent and brought the speed back a bit there, but I think it's not as fast as sort of the 777s obviously, and the 78s and A350s. So this is interesting. The path it's built here is quite shallow. It's certainly not an idle path. The thrust is going to come up, I think, to hold the speed here. So speed's engaged. There you go. Look, you see the order front landing thrust. Is it just descent speed or lower cost of next, or is the 76 slower than other wide bodies? I think I just read that, didn't I? Yes. Oops, sorry, charts. Thank you. One thing though I have noticed with the FlightFactor, it's better, but it's still quite wallowy in pitch. The flight control seems to be quicker, but I have to flare really high in this aircraft for it to sort of be an acceptable landing. Oh, Mr. Queef, hello, Big Pillow Bites. Is this worth buying? Yeah, I think so. If you love the 7.6, it's a good 7.6 add-on. I think it needs a bit of tweaking here and there, tidying up, but the systems modelling is quite good. I mean, it's an old add-on now, but it's nice to see it updated, receive a bit of love from FlightFactor. There we are. Round to Lib. God, I'll never go down there in my life. I think now everyone in chat here will probably never go here in our lives. And back into the cockpit. Yeah, so it seems jumping views. It causes these lighting issues in the sim. I think their 777 is far more polished, giggy ready. I mean, they've been making that for, is it 10 years or something? Matthew, and then that is what we'll do at 40 feet, because it definitely can't flare as low as we do in the 7.3, that's for sure. Which makes sense, it's a much larger aircraft. Oh, Dennis, there we are. You probably do go there. Valiant, isn't fuel calculation off because of wind days not being modelled, for example? Fuel insufficient warning on a long-haul flight. Well, to be fair, there was 1 knot average wind today, hence why the wind is so low, and the fuel bean's been okay. I do think the FMC needs a bit of tidying up regarding inputting those winds. Oh yeah, you still see X-Plane's still having weird clouds underneath them. What on earth? It's like a cow udder. Anyway, we're establishing the descent. It's not an idle path descent, that's for sure. Got a little bit of thrust on. It's doing just under 2,000 feet per minute, holding a descent speed of 275 knots. And we're now getting established on the arrival. Flying that Barra 3 Lima for ILS 007. Was that San Juan del Sur we just flew past? Asking the wrong person, but we can check. It's there. Possibly. We're flying over our alternate though. See if we can spot it outside the window. There we are as we fly past. Shoo. And there it is. That's where we end up going if we can't get into San Jose with the dodgy ortho textures. Matthew may or may not have attempted to start a flight at 20 feet on my first IOE. That's definitely a definition used in the US. Flight on it and gave the passenger a rather rude 4 AM wake up call in Spain. Crunch. Been there, done that. Got the shirt and the hat. Oh dear. Not recently, but I've done a handful of what would have certainly woken you up in the cabin landings. Very nice. Yeah, I've been lucky with the weather. I did a little test sector yesterday and checked everything was installed, and it was awful. Big CBs. Hello, Danis S7. Thanks for popping in. Nice to see me stream. Thank you very much. Thanks for popping in, buddy. Passing flight level 230. Remember the transition level here was very, very high at flight level 200, so we've already set the altimeter and we're continuing to descend to make this restriction 16,000 feet or above at Oscar Charlie 511. Matt, your first landing on the 7-3 smashed it so hard I heard the other cadets laughing in the front rows. Oh yeah. Classic. Well done getting your base training though. Well, you might have done it years ago, I don't know. Oh, it's very quiet to work at the moment. It's quite nice. I'm sort of getting 1 or 2 standbys a week, and generally, touch wood, being left alone. So it's given me opportunities to do things streaming, but also, obviously, baby daughter only born a couple of months ago. I've had some really quality time with her. Growing quick, so quick. Almost double her weight now. But tomorrow's my last day. I'm working tomorrow, and then I'm busy Sunday and Monday, seeing family and friends. Can't be Chopper yet. The 757 will be getting the same level of attention from FlightFactor. This is standard stock weather, Peter Mulberry. John, you've got the FlightFactor 777. That is a quality add-on, as we all know. Just turn this music down a bit. Hello, Team MX5 Miata. I hope this isn't too fringe a question. Do you take any interest in the reports and recordings of multiple pilots encountering UAP more frequently in the US? You've got to help with that acronym. That's an acronym we're not using here, Team MX5 Miata. What is UAP? No clue what that is. I have got ortho, but I'm afraid the ortho, as you can see ahead, ends because honestly the texture quality around the airport, the members, I shared a picture in the Ortho 4XP channel. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to use the ortho tile here. And also the runway had massive lumps in it, so I was like, I'll stick with stock default. Explain 12. UAP. Oh, UFOs. No, I don't, I'm afraid. I've not seen anything yet. Unidentified area phenomenon, Commie. I've not Commie or Team MX5 seen a UFO yet. But I'll let you know if I do, if I'm not beamed up and probed. Right, anyway, bye bye Ortho. We are spoilt with Ortho. Look at that, and then I mean it's all right. It's all right. If it's IMC, you're going to be in cloud, then no problem. But Ortho is great when you're in the cruise. Yes, crazy sarcasm. The phaser is on the back of my head as we speak. Or ray gun, I should say. Hello Delta Aviation, I hope you're well. 767 looks fantastic. Is there the 767-200 variant included? So the stock FlightFactor 767, you get the 300 ER, and then you can pay, I think it's $20 upgrade, or you can buy the whole package, I think for $90 odd, and you get the 300, I think the 200, correct me if I'm wrong guys, and the freighter variant, and then there's a upgraded avionics update as well. So this is just the sort of standard 767, which you get the 300 ER. Anyway, approaching airfield, we'll pop the seatbelt sign back on. Turn the music off. I mean, even without Ortho, you still get all of the mesh looking nice, and it's all very 3D looking good. Right, approaching the first restriction, we can now step down to 12,000 feet. Set, VNAV's engaged. It's almost an idle path to set, isn't it? We've got a little bit of thrust on. But yeah, VNAV's doing overall a good job. Track miles, we've got 54, so we want to be around 15,000 feet, plus the elevation's around 18,000. We're 16, so we're slightly below path, so it's looking good. Bienvenido, first time watching stream, glad to be here. Thank you very much, buddy. Keeping Demon, I know it'd be great if Ortho was sort of stock, but for me, I don't find it too much of a pain to download. It takes 2 minutes to select the tiles, download. Once it's done, I create shortcuts to the second drive on my PC. I'd say for this stream, it took me 5 minutes work. Then I delete them all. I always do it on a stream-by-stream basis because the imagery gets updated. So I've noticed since I started using Ortho 5-6 years ago that the quality of the big maps in sort of certain places where it's really good. But yeah, sometimes the runway elevation gets impacted. It would be nice if we could just fire up the sim like in 2020 or 2024. Right, turn the sim volume up. There we go. Bit of atmospherics on top of my wing. Oh yes, lovely X-Plane 12 stocks. Well, I'm very lucky, Cubing Demon, that I do have quite fast internet here, so it's not an issue downloading tiles. Right, so the elevation here is about 3,000 feet, so we're almost 10,000 feet above the ground here, so we'll start doing the sort of post-cruise checks. Fuel, we've got 7.9, alternate 4.1, so an extra 30 minutes of fuel still on board. Angular bank, we'll leave it in auto. Pressurization, cabin altitude, around 8,000 feet steady. Seatbelts on, and oops, alternate flaps, no. Recall, no issues, checks complete. Okay, next restriction coming up. We'll make a right turn to Barrow, and then descend to 10,000 feet. And then we need to start thinking about, after that, reducing to 210 knots. We'll see how VNAV performs. Where's the zoom? There it is. It's very washed out there. To go is checked. 6 miles till Oscar Charlie 507. We can then step down to 10,000 feet. So I'll set it now, and VNAV shouldn't go below 12,000 feet at Oscar Charlie 507. It should respect the restriction until we're past it. Yep, it is. It's pitching up, look, so that's good. VNAV's respecting the 12,000. Same drag requires because it wants to bring the speed back to 250 knots. FMC messages. Clear the scratch pad. Oh, I can't clear it. It's permanently drag required. You should be able to clear that. Let's clear the message as well. Silence. There we are, we can now step down to 10,000 feet. VNAV's going to start, now we've passed the restriction going down. And then it's 10,000 feet, 210 knots, so we will need to select flaps once we get to 220 knots. Path should be coming back, there we are, perfect. Path starting to point us down, down we go. Does the FMC stop complaining if you put on a feather boa? Pretty annoying. Clouds though are very nice, and the lighting under the clouds is superb. That's what makes up for the fact that I'm not looking outside, looking at the scenery. Right, there's absolutely no ATC or anyone on that sim, guys, so we'll disconnect. So approaching after Barrett, still 10,000 feet. We'll maintain the altitude all the way until after 18. So I'm actually going to go VS now, reduce the speed to 210 knots, or the F speed. Because I can't go below 10,000 feet until after Otina, so I'm just going to set my vertical speed to put the green altitude range ring on Otina. There we go. And after Otina we can step down to 8,000 feet in Matos, so we'll bring the speed back. So don't be afraid to use other modes when you're flying, guys. VNAV is great, but you know, use the MCP, as I always like to train, as a toolbox to set the desired flight path, essentially. VS level change, or flight change, as you call it in the 7.6. Oh yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? What's the maximum speed for flat 1 in this aircraft? 250 knots is fast, isn't it? So 2 miles to Lotina. Max speed is 210 knots, so speed checked. Above the flat 1 speed, we'll just set 200 for now. Can't go below 10,000 feet to Lotina, but within a mile now, we'll set our next restriction, 8,000 feet. Just go level change, so the thrust will go to idle. And we're just passing Otina now. Probably a little bit early descending past it, but there we are, 8,000 feet set. And we'll bug 200 knots. Bit fast, come on, slow down, max 210. Stock X-Plane 12, lovely. God, it does look great, apart from the lighting here. Is it just the cockpit lighting changes? Yeah. But the clouds do look superb. Flat 5. Let's bug 180 knots of base leg. Oh no, I forgot what to do. Tune the ILS 1095. Oops. Course is 071. That was close. Yeah, they could do with updating the graphics bit on there. It's a bit outdated, isn't it? Let's use a bit of speed brakes, a little bit high here. You see the glide slopes sort of oscillating around, but you know, with speed brake 180 knots, flat 5 and the 7.6, you'll soon start to say, I noticed this yesterday, it affects the camera. When you put the speed brake out, it kind of puts the camera up. It's annoying. Right, we're above 8,000 feet then, we can now step down to 6,000 feet level carver. Oops, just need to turn the sim up again slightly, there we go. And glide slope's coming in really nicely. And alarm the localizer. Localizer live, localizer captured. Oh, it's like a 777, it sets the heading for you, 071 set. And within 1 dot of the glide slope will arm approach. So one thing you could do, at my operator we do this, you can add airfield elevation plus 1,000 feet, set that on the MCP after localizer capture, just so you don't get any outer quires. So the elevation here is 3,048, so around at 3,100 we can set that to 4,100 now. And then you can just use drag as you need to get captured back on the glide slope. And we also have to have glide slope capture by 4 miles in IMC. Just an SOP. Localizer. Oh, Bob 318. Are you a colleague of mine? Such species for localizer in real life. Yes, that's a good story to tell. Right, I need more drag. Speed brake flap 10. Slippy plane. I guess. Oh gosh, still can't get the camera view right. So if it. Ooh, is speed brake with flap 10 prohibited? Right, there's 2,000 feet per minute. We're in 1 dot arming approach. Oh, I know what affects the camera. It's the stupid chair controls. Gosh, they can disable that. Yeah, every time it does that. Right, glide slope capture, stowing the speed brake. Missed approach altitude is 10,000 feet. And all the autopilots are engaged. And we'll bug 165. Great. Yep, exactly right. Glide slope capture from above. Oh, look, interesting. Airbus is the opposite. You put the MTCP out. Is that missed approach out above your current altitude to avoid false capture? Ah, no, we set elevation plus 100. Anyway, there's San Jose. So look at that, flap 10 speed brake, and it's pretty much holding the speed there. Don't forget the elevation here is 3,000 feet, so only 2,500 feet above the ground here. Look at the clouds, guys. Superb. Nice low drag approach. Saving fuel for Alpaca Airways. Thrust is going to slowly come up now though to maintain our bug speed. I like the FlightFactor 7.6. It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid add-on. So if you want to fly a 7.6, I'd thoroughly recommend this. So, beautiful sounds on the FT-Sim sound pack. The altitude's quite high, 5 degrees nose up. So, I didn't put a 4-mile ring in, did I? No. There we are. Just for situation awareness. So it's flying the glide slope quite nicely, but I think we'll configure now. Gear down, go flat 20, and then bug off on approach speed now. Flat 25 below 180 already. Alarm the speed brake. No, that's extended. Arms, there we are. And flat 30. There we are. Oh, look at the ailerons and flapper arm working. Superb. Right, star switch is continuous recall. Checked. Speed brake is armed. Landing gear is down 3 green. Auto brake is set to 3. Flaps 30. Lights on. Checklist complete. Okie dokie. Right then. Wish me luck, ladies and gentlemen. Auto throttle disconnected. Autopilot's disconnected. Oh gosh. Bit of thruster symmetry. I don't like that blinking master caution. It's gone. It's gone. Zoom in slightly. A little bit high, correcting. Try not to do more than 1,000 feet per minute. There we are, back on the vertical profile. Trying to get the camera. Oh, trying to get the camera right. There we are. Alrighty, so quite trim. That's it. Trying to keep the runway in the same point in the windscreen. I've also got the flight directors to assist me here as well. Oh gosh, I'm scanning my speed. So let's check. I have no idea what the target thrust is for flap 30 in the 7.6. Not what I had set. God, it's a bit of a thrust pitch couple. I took the thrust off and it did drop a little bit there. So we've got 8 knot crosswind. It's gusting up to 20. Airport lights are blinking at me. Buggy.
500.
Checked. Weird touchdown markings as well, and I explained. What's going on with the lighting in the sim? Sorry about that. think it's struggling with the clouds and shadows.
Minimums.
Continue. So flare at about 40 feet.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Four.
10.
Caution, terrain.
What?
Caution, terrain.
Hold the attitude. Not bad. Right, speed brakes up. I think. Reverses. Oh, don't forget the nose. There we are. Oh, the lighting. Look, explain. Come on, explain. I've never seen you do that before. 100 knots. Manual braking. 80 knots. 60 knots. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Jose in Costa Rica, with the airport authorities turning the lights off and on rapidly. Oh, by the way, that's not a urine sample. That is drinking squash at the moment, guys. Right. Got a caution terrain there at the end. Anyway, here we are. Flaps coming up. I have to say, having stock, I might not use ortho tiles all the time now at the airport because the runway's got a nice slope to it. I'll just have to check sometimes, but glad we got rid of it because the textures were terrible. Anyway, I better vacate this runway. Right, where's the wide body stands here? Amazing sounds. Thanks whoever that was. Give me 2 seconds. Cargo terminal. Are these wide body stands? They look narrow, but I'll go to Alpha 13. Look, Alpha 13. You can get a big boy on, so we'll go over there. Get the APU started. Oops, I don't know what else I've just done there. Turn reset fans off and just turn the sounds off because it's so good. Itch it, scratch it, thanks buddy. Hi Hope, you and the family are well. And where does the time go? I have absolutely no idea. You've been a member for 66 months. So you've got to tell me where the time's gone, buddy. Thank you very much for your support. Alright, oh, hold on. Alright, we're going to go stand 17 then. Yeah, because it's not matching the charts. Look, Alpha 12. Someone needs to update it. Alright, super short taxi it is. Okay. Alright, let's turn these lights off. Crikey, I'm already on here. So, 2000, standby. What on earth was that? Who's took... I'm on VATSIM. Is that like pre-played radio? Well, I've not turned that on. Oh, crikey, I don't know what I'm doing there. It sounds like I'm in UK airspace. Anyway, I don't know what I did to turn that there. Anyway, I'm getting positioned on the stand. Well, that's quite realistic, I suppose. Right, I'm going to get my pitot tubes ripped off by the air bridge, but never mind. Gosh, I'm going to smash into the air bridge. Ooh, stop. There we are. Perfect. Parking brake sets. APU is running, so we can shut the engines down. APU generator is already available, so... The APU will take the electrical load now. There we are, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Costa Rica, first ever time here. New sky centre its flight. Oh, oh, look, I got GSX. I don't know what I've done to get ATC. I think it was Unicom. I don't know what I've done. I don't want it. Anyway, here we are. There we are. And APU is running, and I think we can get even X-Plane to do its default request ground service. There we are. So it's going to service the aircraft, get us ready for the next sector. We've got Lucas Bunchen joining as a member. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Glad you enjoy the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. I hope you enjoy using the custom modes in chat. Thank you very much for the support. Hope you're doing well. Who else we had here in chat on the approach here? It was quite busy texting in. Broma AI, maybe try Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 with VR. Great for me, probably personally. Not great for those of you watching, but maybe one day. Boga, yes, maybe another time. It wasn't too bad a landing, but yeah, I had to flare quite high, but actually would do, I think, in the 7.6 as well. Localizer never fails us. Yes, I saw that question. Brilliant. Must be you, my friend Ollie. Some of these planes sound packs, you get some ATC chatter if you set 2000 on the transponder. It might be that. I thought the sound pack though cancelled that. There was a fuel truck that's just driven into my fuselage by the looks of it. Yes, there it is. Anyway, what do I think of the FlightFactor 7.6? It's a nice add-on, guys. It's I wouldn't put it quite as high up as sort of the the Challenger 650, which I've only ever flown once, to be fair. But it's a really well replicated 7.6. It's a solid package. It's getting updated now for X-Plane 12, so you can enjoy the aircraft in the new simulator, which I have to say that I can see the improvements in the base. It's a shame about the approach lights and runway lights turning off and on there, but this is a stock airport here, and well, apart from the stand numbers not matching, they're so nice to see in the sim. So yeah, it's nice to jump back into one of the FlightFactor 7.6s. We've only ever flown the 7.6 before. The 7.5 we flew once as well, but it's a fine add-on. I really enjoyed it as well. But yeah, guys, we'll end it here. It was a quick, short but sweet stream. But I am planning, guys. I'm going. What is it now? 5:30. In 4.5 hours, we're going live again in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 in the PMDG 777 for a flight from San Francisco to Heathrow. Alas, I won't be there the whole time, but I will be there for the start. I'll get some sleep and I'll be there for the approach tomorrow morning as well. So be sure to join in if you wish. The link will be there when I end the stream, because I've attached it to redirect you if there's anyone still watching. But yeah, it was good fun today. Let's have a look at the replay and see how things work from the outside. I'll probably try and take this aircraft again, not in the not too distant future. It's been a long time, I think, since we last flew it. Anyway, let me just turn off. Oh no, wait, new sky. Let's see how we scored. Close the flight. Close flight. Let's have a look together. And it's a good start to the month of June. 10 out of 10, and we made $23,000 on this fully loaded flight with plenty of cargo. There we go. Oh yes, new sky. The only alpaca flying, making some money today. Very good. Right then, we'll close that. We'll turn off Fly Live and try the replay tool. I don't think the landing looked that bad, did it? I'll have a look. Also, can be a bit crashy. Well, not crashy, but a bit sort of slow to start and a bit buggy, but should work. Are you upside down in the thumbnail, or am I tripping? What? No, it should be the right way up. Oh, look at that for positioning of my replay. It's like I've done it before. Just turn down this music, which is incredibly loud. Oh, that's better. Because the aircraft's a bit muted from the outside, unfortunately. I'll make it as loud as I can. A little bit of a crosswind, though. I flared a bit too aggressively, I think. Oh, it's a bit lumpy, isn't it? Oh, look, I got caught by the lump. Yeah, that's why the landing was a lot harder than it was. Yeah, there's an up lump there. Yep. Very nice. On centerline though. Great centerline tracking. Look at that. Majestic. Jim looks so short in the cockpit as well. That wasn't too bad a landing at all. Puff of nose wheel smoke. Oh, I wish it was just a bit louder. See the gap between the flaps, look for the thrust. They're massively blocked, don't they? Amazing. Let's have a look from the tower view. Almost going to a stop there. Tower's miles away. Cheers, bienvenido. Thank you. Matthew loves to sink, yeah. But it flies nicely. They've definitely updated the handling of the aircraft. Because the 7.5 was broken for a while in X-Plane 11, but it's definitely improved. So fine add-on. Fine add-on. And a dying aircraft, really. I mean, there's not many passenger variants of this left. US a lot, but these are mostly freighters these days. Superb. Right then, let's let's go to that view. You see all the bits inside the sort of a spoiler and the flaps. Very, very nice. Well, thank you very much once again for popping into another Flight Sim live stream. Very much enjoyed flying the FlightFactor 767-300ER for you today. Excuse me. The aircraft is available on the X-Plane store as well. This is a beta update and the latest version of the beta sim as well, so it's great to see the sort of improvements coming into the simulator. Oh, no, not fast forward. But still a bit of work to do with lighting, but nice to see as well. Sorry for having no ortho as well for Costa Rica, but it looks a bit dodgy, those textures, but never mind. If you enjoy the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest content. To everyone that donated, thanks for your generosity, and Simbev for your gifted member as well, and to all the members, thank you very much for your continued support. I'll see you guys in about 4.5–5 hours or so. Enjoy your weekend if I don't see you there anyway. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.